Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Some of you may remember that chant from your childhood, however, you might not know what it means. Lizzie Borden was found innocent in the murder of her father and stepmother nearly 120 years ago, although this case still is very intriguing to many historians. I have also been fascinated with this case since high school when I first found out about it. I have read articles and watched documentaries on the case. Today I am going to inform you about Lizzie Borden and her early years, the murders and the events that led up to the murders, and the trial and the suspects involved. Lizzie Borden lived a very interesting and eventful life from day one. She was born July 19, 1860 in Fall River, Massachusetts, to Andrew and Sarah. Sarah, however, died 2 years later after the birth, and Andrew remarried Abby Gray 3 years later. Lizzie looked up to her older sister, Emma. She looked up to her like a mother, even though she had a stepmother. Lizzie and Emma did not see eye to eye with their stepmother, Abby. They were very worried that Abby was trying to take their father's wealth. One instance is when Andrew bought Abby a house. Emma and Lizzie felt very jealous and felt like they deserved something in return. So Andrew gave them their grandfather's house. However, Lizzie and Emma sold the house, and that caused a lot of tension in the family. The girls started calling Abby Mrs. Borden rather than mother. In Lizzie's earlier years, it was a roller coaster of events, and it was about to get worse as she got older. I'm now going to inform you guys about the events leading up to the murder and the murders itself. The summer before the murders, weird things started happening. For instance, the Bordens had a break-in in broad daylight. The only things taken from the house were $50 cash and some jewelry from Abby's bedroom. Nothing else was disturbed or harmed. The police were called and an investigation was started. However, Andrew stopped the investigation after 2 weeks. No one knows why. Another thing that happened is in the first few days of August, the whole family got sick. Abby started blaming the baker for poisoning the bread, and even Lizzie said that maybe one of Andrew's enemies poisoned the milk. Lizzie felt like she had to sleep with one eye open because she felt like the house could burn down on them if she didn't. August 4, 1892. There was a strange turn in the Borden house. Abby, Andrew, and Andrew's brother-in-law were eating breakfast. Emma was out of town at a house party, and Lizzie, of course, was not eating with the family. After breakfast, Andrew headed off to the bank to do business like a normal day, and his brother-in-law went to see family on the other side of town. Abby asked her maid to clean the windows on the bottom floor while she went upstairs and made the guest bed. However, this was the last time Abby was seen alive. Andrew came home about 10:45 that day, and the house was bolted locked. The maid heard him trying to get in the house and came to open the doors. When she opened the doors, Lizzie was heard laughing at the top of the stairs. Andrew started asking for Abby's whereabouts, and Lizzie replied that she was visiting a sick friend. Andrew ended up dozing off on the sofa in the sitting room and was found. On August 4, 1892, Lizzie's father and stepmother were murdered in their home. Andrew was found dead by Lizzie. Blood was dripping from the wounds. The police came and found Abby later upstairs with dry blood. Detectives thought that the murders had happened an hour to 2 hours apart. The wounds were caused from a hatchet. They each had multiple wounds, although one strike with the hatchet could have killed either one of them. I'm now going to talk about the top suspects and the trial. The biggest suspect was Andrew, the brother-in-law. However, his alibi was legit. He had been seeing his family that day. The next suspect was the maid. She was clear for lack of motive. There was no evidence that a stranger came and murdered the two, so that was cleared. But a week later, Lizzie actually got caught burning a dress. She claims that there was paint stains on the dress, however, it ended up to be blood stains. Lizzie is now the suspect. She started getting questioned, and her testimonies ended up not making sense, and were all over the place. She was arrested on August 11th of 1892. She pled not guilty the next day. On June 1893, the jury said that she was not guilty. Lizzie then moved back in with her sister. Randomly one day, I think it was 1905, Emma moved out and left Lizzie alone, and they never spoke since that day. Lizzie died of pneumonia in her hometown, and Emma died a few days later. No one has been charged with the murder, and it is still a mystery. Now that you have learned about Lizzie Borden in her earlier years and the Borden murders and the suspects involved in the trial, you can see why the case of Lizzie Borden continues to intrigue historians. I hope that the next time you see children jumping around and playing on a playground chanting the Lizzie Borden chant, I hope you think about the most puzzling murder in American history.
Yeah.